Margaret had always found comfort in the gentle routines of her suburban life. On crisp Wednesday evenings, the house filled with laughter and red wine, her book club friends assembling around the circular coffee table, their voices would drift through the half-open kitchen window, mingling with the distant hum of sprinklers and the drone of summer insects. From the outside, Margaret's life was uninterrupted bliss. It had been 3 weeks since the bodies were discovered, curled awkwardly across her beige living room carpet. The news vans had long since vanished, but the neighbors still whispered, glancing whenever Margaret watered her roses or wheeled out the recycling. No one wanted to ask her about that night, about the police, the flashing lights, the way her hands had trembled as she spun the tale. "He was watching us," Margaret said, her voice breaking as she described the figure moving through her hedges, black-clad, faceless, waiting. She remembered how the doorbell rang, the way the air chilled. She tried so hard to make the fear sound genuine, even as some part of her delighted in the tremor of belief she saw in their eyes. But when Margaret lay awake at night, she heard the book club's laughter echo from the corners of the house. In her kitchen, she found wineglasses she knew she'd thrown away, lipstick stains, still fresh. Page corners in her favorite novels would fold themselves, as if marked by unseen hands. She tried to tell herself the stains, the voices, were the mind's peculiar cruelties. But then, photos began to appear. They were tucked into her mailbox, left on her windshield, slid under her bedroom door. Candids of the book club women together, beaming, and in every picture, Margaret was missing. She would have remembered if those photos existed. She always took the group shot herself, insisted on it, so she could be in the center. In these, her place was a yawning void. One night, Margaret awoke to the sound of the doorbell. She crept down the stairs, fingers clutching her robe, breath held. The front door's glass panel was slick with condensation, the outline of a hand pressed to the other side. She hesitated. When she finally opened the door, the night pressed in, thick and humming. The porch was empty, except for the book club book, propped against the welcome mat, its cover smeared with something dark and sticky. Heart racing, she turned back toward the living room, and realized she could hear soft voices drifting from within. She peered around the corner. There, arrayed on the sofa as before, sat her friends, laughing, passing a bottle, eyes glinting with a secret mirth. Their faces shifted in the dim light, becoming waxy and hollow, mouths stretching wider, grins splitting skin. Margaret stepped forward, and they all turned as one to look at her, eyes black and endless. "You left us out," one whispered, "but you can't leave the story, Margaret. You can't be the only one left." Margaret tried to back away, but cold hands reached from behind, gripping her shoulders. The room shrank, lights flickered, and the book club's laughter grew until it was the only sound she could hear. The last thing Margaret saw before the darkness closed in was her own empty spot on the couch, just waiting to be filled.